Hello friends, this is Olga. Probably you will not see me well on this video, but that's because it's still dark. It's 6 o'clock in the morning, and actually this is my routine life now in Italy. Hello friends, I'm outside near the nearest city from that place where I live, and this video is one of the parts to show you the refugees' life as it is. Now I'm on the half of the road. I passed almost half of the time. Here's the road. Maybe you see that line of lights behind me. That is the road I have to reach. It's still half of my climbing, where I usually go almost every day, or when I have to buy something or go to the city. This is my bags I'm carrying, and also I have the backpack on my shoulders. Yeah, a little bit difficult. And here, because here we have the light, I can rest a little, but I have to go there. This road is very difficult for me, this part, because it's goes upstairs, and it's as I told you, maybe less, maybe 15 minutes just constant climbing. Promised myself do not buy a lot of food at once, because climbing is very heavy. Once I got that room where I'm living, but if you even do not take a lot, it's still heavy, because you need to eat something, you need to buy something. You cannot buy just one apple. I would say that in Italy, no, it's just my opinion or expression. Maybe I do not know something, but in my opinion, in Italy, not much of social protection for people. At least it's less than in Ukraine, because here, no, for example, not very developed social transport. That's why I'm walking every day 1 hour and 40 minutes to the city and back. Yeah, it's huge. At more than 3 hours every day I'm walking. Here just sometimes I can catch school bus, but it's just gets you once in the city for a day and back. And also here, not much where to live. And from this point of view, I think Italy was not the best place for refugees, because, for example, in Ukraine, we have different dormitories. I think a lot of universities, even colleges, institutes, scientific institutes, big enterprises, a lot of such state organizations, they have this social type of social flats, social rooms. But here in Italy, it's doesn't exist. And the same problem with the transport. Transport, of course, here the buses, here the trains. But I think buses, they were not well developed. Most of people, they have their own personal car. And I think the problem with why buses not everywhere developed, because the Italy is country of mountains, and houses sometimes they situated very far from each other, so neighbors, they quite far, or even if they are close, they divided by some gap or huge hill. So to get from one house to another is a problem. Look how deep it is. This is the valley, and people, they are living from on that side, just lonely houses, and there are the road. They are near the road, and I'm on my way there. But you see, I cannot just go there just just here. For example, in Ukraine, people in Ukraine, we have I think we have buses, we have small buses. We call it marshrutka, because marshrout is the route, and I think they are very small, like bugs, and a lot of different routes they riding every day, and so you can reach almost everywhere. And I had less problem with the transport than in Italy, and also social protection. In this point of view, also connected with transport is in Italy a little bit less than in Ukraine. For example, for trolley bus, for all, how to say, state transport in the cities, pensioners, people who are reached 65 years old, and they have this document that they receiving this not already salary, but we call it pension or pensia. So they usually do not have to pay for trolley bus, for subways, I mean underground trains. And in Italy it doesn't, I think, exist. Also in Ukraine, even private transport in the city, among cities, that marshrutka, as I told you, they also obligated to give free places, free transportation of two, but on the times of war, one person who deserves this. It could be a person who reached 65 years old and have the document. It could be disabled people of some categories. It also could be some even young people who took part in the war, and they have documents that they are participant of, for example, present Ukrainian-Russian war or other wars. And so in Italy, we as a refugee came here, and after we understood that in Italy to be a refugee is hard. No dormitories, almost. It's very seldom when, for example, university gives some dormitory for some professors or some, for example, PhD students. But actually the price for them, for these dormitories, is not low. It's not something cheap like in Ukraine. In Ukraine, this price is just ridiculously low, and that's why all students want to get this room. They could live, for example, in the capital for ridiculously small money in this room. I heard that it could be, but probably it exists, but not everywhere. And I think the quantity of dormitories a little bit less. And in this reason, I have to. In this reason, we lived in the church. First time we lived in the hotel that was before a church or monastery, and actually the owner of this hotel, he also connected somehow with religious branch of people's life. He is some connected with religion. So anyway, it is a religious place, and there is on the territory of that monastery still present a church. But anyway, we lived in church, and I understood that in Italy just no place for people like we, for refugees, where to live except monasteries or churches, because no such a place as dormitories, not much of them. It's my impression and my opinion. Maybe I do not know something, but in general, yes. And the place where I'm living now, maybe you can notice that it's much more better condition than it was before, and it's not cheap. There are some more cheap apartments, but they only if you have a car. I do not have it, so I cannot rent them. And another problem or issue here, the problems with internet. Some other Italians I asked, they are from another regions, and they rent the flat apartment in the city center, and they have very bad internet. So internet is a problem. I don't know if it is everywhere, but here it is a problem, and almost it's very big luck if you find the flat with a normal constant internet, with a normal speed internet. And for me, as for online student, you understand the internet is crucially important. I cannot be without internet. I took all information. For example, sometimes I'm studying and using internet up to 2 o'clock, and sometimes I got up at 5 o'clock, and so I need this. And in this apartment I have it. But in general, it is not everywhere internet. I mean, the Wi-Fi zone, it's not everywhere. The cable internet, or I don't know how to call it. And mostly people, they buy some modems for mobile internet, and mobile internet is not very powerful, it's not very fast, and that's what like people find out of that situation. But this mobile internet is bad. It's sometimes, mostly it's slow. And I think the problem probably also maybe in that this a lot of houses, they are on the mountains. Probably it is hard, it is very long path to build this, wire, to make these wires get to each house, because I don't know, maybe my theory with the mountains is wrong, because even some people in the city center, they do not have internet. So I don't know what is the reason, but internet is a problem. Anyway, and of course, to pay for it, in addition to my study, I have to work somewhere, so I have to attend it. I have to do some job there, and also in the same time I have to study. That sometimes I'm disappearing in some room and have to sit on that lessons where teachers demand to turn off on the camera to answer. They want to see everyone. It's completely different, because some lessons we do not have it. Teacher just throw us or send us a task online, and you even can do it later after work. Other Ukrainians who was with me, I think that probably those who want to work, who are ready to work, they mostly work high in the mountains, in the hotel where people went or go for a weekend for skiing, and they work there mostly in the hotels. And I think with that type of work, I also cannot imagine how I could study, because they told me that it's just like a hell. It's terrible work. They have to clean rooms, they have to fill the refrigerator, they have to know what should be inside, and it's all the time cleaning. And when they even finish their work, they live in that hotel, and after work the administrator could send them messages that you have to clean there, you have to go there, it's not well cleaned there. And so they continue to work up to 11 o'clock. And you understand that for me it's not a way out how I can combine a study and work. This, I found, is not like something very, very well paid, I think. But it lets me to continue study. As I combined my study and job in Ukraine, and now I'm continuing to do almost the same. So my life didn't become easier. And despite on the fact that I'm in Italy, I have so much things to do that I cannot travel and watch something. We have difference in the hours with Ukraine, 1 hour. For example, in Ukraine it's 9 o'clock in the morning, and here in Italy it's 8 o'clock. So for me sometimes it's difficult to follow the time on my lessons. And you have also always count in your mind that it's not this time, it's 1 hour more. Now I am closer to city. Here will be more car, more noise. So I have to finish this my video and say goodbye to you. Thank you for watching. Once again, don't judge me strictly. Maybe I was wrong in something, but it's just my impression. What I know, what I got from this almost year I'm in this country. So thank you for watching and see you. Ciao.